All righty, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zach. Oh, hang on, I got a bit of feedback on the old mobile. Look, today we are going to be speaking with Slava from PureFi. I mean, this is going to be a pretty good interview. I'm feeling. We're going to learn a bit more about the project and its vision. Talk about blockchain and cybersecurity, and then overall discuss certain things. That's what's happening in blockchain at the moment. Maybe if we can get a couple of predictions, maybe from Slava, see what his personal thoughts are on Bitcoin or something like that. Throw it into the mix. But yeah, guys, we're super excited for this. This is one of our first interviews that we're doing. One of many, hopefully. Hopefully we nail this down, and I'm sure we will. But can you guys just let me know how the audio is? If you just want to type in chat, I just want to make sure our audio is all fine before we sort of proceed a little bit further. So if you could just give me a little thumbs up or let us know in chat how the audio is before we get going. Sounds good? Perfect. That's what I like to hear. I don't want to hear none of this other stuff. Alrighty. So what I'll do now is we'll just get stuck straight into it, and I'll bring Slava into the call, and away we'll go. So give me one moment. Alrighty, just waiting on Slav. Hey, Slava man, you there?
Oh, hello. Nice to meet you all.
There we go. There he is. Well, guys, Slava from PureFi, the CEO and co-founder. Look, first things first, man. I love asking about the logo. I'm a really visual person. Okay, so
Uh,
who come up with the logo and what? So what made you guys choose that, and how did you come up with the design for it?
okay, I love these questions. I will tell about the logo and the naming.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, since I came up with this idea, so I love these questions. Pure stands for a sort of white and fluffy crypto, and Fi stands for finance, exactly like the second bit of DeFi.
Right.
Thereby, thereby PureFi is consonant with DeFi. And turning to logo, the logo reflects the idea of optical prism. The beam of light goes through the prism, and the prism breaks the beam down to the spectrum. So
Wow.
yeah, the spectrum shows all the shades of risk and origin of the money.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
this is the main idea of the PureFi protocol. It's just to separate good players, honest market players,
Yep.
from
Yep.
bad actors, from dark market, and all these dirty things that crypto somehow involved in.
Yeah, and I mean that's something that's really starting. Personally, it's something that really bugs me. Is just it's how easy now people are able to hide in plain sight with these other crypto projects, and it's not giving a really good example or a good onboarding for those new people that are coming into crypto for the first time. So look, yeah, we really love what you're doing and what you're building.
Yeah, we want to eliminate this association of crypto with the dark market and all the illicit activities.
Yeah, yeah, and
So I believe we will do this sooner or later.
yeah, and well, and that's I mean, that's the perfect angle to approach, especially in blockchain being so new as an industry. I mean, you guys are going to be able to build a benchmark. You're going to be able to signify an entry point for those investors who are market makers or liquidity providers, even from the foreign exchange. What's that, 120 trillion or something now? So being able to provide that sort of safer onboarding into the DeFi space is, I mean, that's legendary. Like I'm just, I'm so happy that I found PureFi, even on just on a personal level, because I thought, wow, okay, this is going to be, this is something that I want to definitely sink my teeth into personally. And that's what I thought about the community. I thought, well, why not see if we can talk to Slava, get him on, and learn a bit more about the project, so we could all learn as a community. And yeah, I mean, it's just awesome. And I mean, the logo again, that's
That
that
man appreciated.
yeah, that's just great. I love hearing the stories about how founders or graphic designers have come up with certain logos and the processes behind it. I mean, how long did it take you guys? Was it a few days or a few weeks, or did you have a lot of brainstorming sessions and different concepts?
We expected to finish the logo in a few days as a typical
Yeah, yeah,
situation. But in this case, there were so many brainstorming and so many approaches to depict the idea of PureFi.
yep, yep.
So it took for about, I would say, a week and a half, something like this,
Yeah, wow.
just to, yeah, just to finalize the final version.
Yeah,
So we took
wow.
some time.
Okay.
Not that long. I
Yeah,
heard stories with the months and years,
yeah.
not maybe months, but in our case, in our world, we want to move very quickly. You know, the market
Exactly. Yep.
uh,
Oh
here in
man.
English, yeah, we need
Oh
to move very quickly.
yeah. One
So
one year is like is like 1 minute in blockchain. It's just
yeah,
everything's so bang 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 bang.
some crypto projects that was famous a year ago, no one cares now
Exactly.
regarding.
No one even hears about them or sees them anymore. You're exactly right. And when did speaking of time, when did Purify actually start it or begin its journey?
Um, so we started designing the idea a few months ago.
Okay.
However, publicly announced a month ago. So
Right.
we are pretty young in terms of development, but it's been said that we are working ML in crypto anti-money laundering industry in crypto for about 3 years. So yeah, probably this idea started much later.
Yeah, wow, okay. So you've been working in that
But
sort of
officially, but officially we started a month ago.
yeah, okay. Yeah, cuz you guys is it the same team that's involved with AML bot and AML or as well as Purify, or is it different teams for both projects?
Um, some people working right now on both projects,
Okay,
like
yep.
myself, for example, and my partners.
Yep,
But
yep.
the rest of the team, I mean, development team, marketing team, we gather it through this month. We gather it through this month. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, wow. Yeah, well, man, it's how have you found the journey so far? Has it been tough, or has it been fairly cruisy since you've previously come from that anti-money laundering industry?
Uh, uh, it wasn't tough. I guess. Yeah. I
I
guess.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah. We love what we do. We are a team of geeks and fanatics, and this month passed as I would say, a few days. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Wow. And
It's
and
something new for us. It's something new for us because
yep.
ML Bot and ML Safe and the rest of the projects we have so far, it's more classical products.
Yep.
And this one is DeFi, Web 3.0.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of new for us as well.
Yep.
I mean, in terms of marketing, in terms of promoting, and in terms of tokenomics and how it works. A lot of new things have been learned through these few months.
Yeah, wow, okay. Well, that's really good to know. I mean, so it feels like almost even though you have the experience behind you guys, you're still stepping in to sort of new services and technologies to be able to, provide, a protocol for the savvy investor.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's awesome. And what networks will PureFi be available on? And why are you choosing those first?
Okay, we are starting from Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain.
Mm-hmm.
They are almost the same, and
Yep.
all the liquidity and users are there. So, and we have a developer, Solidity developers, I mean, and we understand how it works.
Yep.
Also, we see a big potential in Casper Network, which is our partner, and we're proud of it.
Oh, awesome.
They are growing. Have you heard about Casper Network?
I've just sort of started having a look into Casper personally. I haven't sort of really wrapped my head around it, but fill us in. Give us a brief description of Casper Network.
They also grow very fastly, and they have a good community. They have um, a lot of initiative and finance to accomplish those initiative.
Yep.
And what is more important for us, they have so-called private network and private storage. And I believe maybe you will have some questions regarding the technology, and I'll explain it briefly later.
Yeah, of course.
Apart from Casper network, we also love Solana network,
Yep.
uh,
Beautiful.
Cosmos, and Polkadot.
Yeah.
Those
Wow.
are
Okay.
yeah, very trendy networks.
Yep. Yep.
So it's necessary to say that the core of PureFi runs off-chain, and
Exactly.
it's
Yep.
relatively and it's relatively easy to add new oracles, so-called oracles.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, you know what is oracles? No,
Yes. Yes.
maybe
Yeah. Sure
so-called
do.
oracles
Yep.
for a new blockchain to
Yep.
follow market trends,
Yeah.
so we can
Exactly.
scale easily.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just integrate. It kind of like almost you're integrating API into your own website, sort of thing. Like same principle,
Yeah,
but you're just setting up different oracles for different chain networks and stuff. So yeah, that's awesome. And
yeah.
I mean,
It
yeah,
was it was designed by our CTO, so the core is off chain, and it's easy to scale to any network.
yeah, that is perfect. That's beautiful. I mean, it sounds like PureFi's even just got a big future just from that. I mean, and some, I've seen some projects where they limit themselves by only creating their network, not being able to easily be incorporated or built on other chains or forked from into better networks. And being adaptable in blockchain, I think is quite crucial, because of the as we've spoken about before, the rate of these projects that are popping up out of nowhere, and what people are building, and how blockchain moves forward as an industry. Yeah, I mean, it's just the more you talk, the more I just want to be a part of PureFi. So that's awesome. Um, what what
Thanks. Thanks.
what achievements have you guys accomplished so far in your short journey?
Okay, as I said, we are a pretty young project.
Yep, yep,
Nevertheless, we gathered a team of professionals like our CTO, BDO, marketing team. We have amazing marketing team, and I believe you heard of us because of our marketing team.
yeah, yep,
uh,
definitely.
we agreed with a bunch of crypto influencers and strategic ML KYC partners. In our ecosystem, those partners call issuers.
Yeah, wow, okay.
And mm, not to miss anyone, let me open a spreadsheet to enumerate some notable names that we already agreed. It's a Casper network,
Yep,
Casper Lab, I already mentioned. It's a crystal blockchain, which is a worldwide leader of anti-money laundering analytic.
yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's, let me open this spreadsheet. We already partner with Not Capital. They are from, I believe, Singapore.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, probably. Uh, Also, Sanctum Ventures and Dunstan Tower. It's a quite famous person, especially in Asia region. You can Google them.
Yeah, definitely.
Master Ventures. We are in speak with Draper Golem Home, Consensus Capital, Arcadia Group. They are from the United States.
Yeah, I've heard
GBV
of Acadia
Capital.
Group. Yep.
Oh, you heard of Arcadia Group, yeah.
Yeah.
And their CTO, Rasik, is a great person. He agreed to be a part of our team as a technical advisor. He's brilliant guy. A lot of teams pointed to him. Just we
Yeah.
should
He has that
ask this
reputation.
guy technical things. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a good reputation.
Yeah,
He's
that's
very
great.
smart guy. And Saxon Advisors, Digital Strategies, Synergy Capital. There are a lot of VC funds and ML KYC providers we already agreed to work.
Yeah.
Since we build protocol, and crucial for this protocol is to have partners that provide different data, like Parsec, for example. We also speak with them. They provide blockchain analytics and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
in terms of development, we started to build our protocol. We I created a few smart contracts on Ethereum and blockchain, and we are planning probably this fall to have an MVP version just to test it.
Yeah, awesome. That's wicked. And I've seen also, I think, was it recently that you guys also partnered with Hacken or Hacken
Oh
Foundation?
yeah, yeah. Oh, Haken is our lovely strategic partner.
Yeah, great.
They are cybersecurity company. I believe you heard about them,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
and they also involved in not only cybersecurity but also anti-money laundering, KYC, and ranking of different DEXs, taxes.
Yep.
They are very influenced,
Yeah, influential.
and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and they will be audit our smart contracts.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, they've certainly got that reputation. And yeah, that's another great project that that we've seen as well. And I mean, having that partnership, I guess, just strengthens PureFi even further. And having sort of that built that network you guys have. I mean, it just appears like you've really you do have a great team behind you, and you've set up PureFi to the best
Yeah.
of your ability. It also says the European Commission. Is that? Can you tell more on that?
Um, we have a part of our team in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and we focused on Europe, Europe regulation at the first time.
Okay, right. So that's yep.
Yeah, and we are part of different blockchain association. We
Yeah. Wow.
advise we
Okay. Yep.
advise regulators in Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and we are part of uh, a few seminars and forums within the European Commission.
Wow. Okay,
So,
that's huge.
yeah, the truth is they don't have clear idea how to regulate DeFi
Yes. Yes.
space.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
kind of new. They just almost learned how to regulate classical crypto, and boom, there is DeFi market
Yeah.
on
Straight away. I know.
yeah,
And
like
it's
for half a year, maybe year,
yeah.
and
They were on. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. They just learned about cryptocurrency, and then all of a sudden, bang! Now there's DeFi, and then just what's next? Another 6 months down the line, there's gonna be a new one.
yeah.
Um,
So we decided we better help them to understand it
mm,
and to
mm.
regulate it properly, not to break the entire ecosystem.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely a good approach there, because you don't want to sort of you can't just approach DeFi or blockchain as a whole with a blanket. You can't do a blanket approach like, oh, this is for everything. The ecosystem is so expansive, and it just there's so much that blockchain provides for, I believe, even the entire world. I mean, if we all just went to digital currency, I mean, have a look at how many trees we'd save from printing money at Federal
Yeah,
Reserve and or other mints and stuff like that. And I think in the broader sense, this is just personal, by the way. I think in the broader sense, it's just it's an industry that if done appropriately, we could really do something for the globe as well as ourselves. Investors, venture capitalists, or even that new person getting into blockchain or DeFi for the first time in their life. And yeah, I mean it's
yeah.
something that's not
Just a small example.
Mm.
What is DEX? DEX is a
It,
purely smart contract.
yep, yep.
It's a small program. There is no owner.
Mm-hmm.
There is no person to enforce to follow some rules.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a small example. Another example: users tend tend to stay anonymous. They don't
Yeah.
want to disclose all their personal stuff.
Yep.
And in this situation, regulator have a big problem, and we want
Exactly.
to solve it.
Yeah, and that's perfect. I mean, you've really nailed the niche on the head with that.
Thanks.
And it's and how exactly? So, how exactly? Just explain for the guys the PureFi protocol. So, how exactly will that work? For example, a VC or a new savvy investor wants to put some money into a new project starting up in a private sale. So, how exactly would that PureFi protocol work in that situation?
Okay. There are typically I explain two cases.
Yep.
The first is easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's say some DEX
Mm-hmm.
is willing to become compliant and regulated.
Mm-hmm.
All they need is just to get our smart contracts, incorporate them within their blockchain network, and filter all the income and outcome transactions through this intermediary smart contract.
Mm-hmm.
The smart contract itself, through the oracles, goes to issuers,
Mm-hmm.
so-called issuers.
Yep.
This is ML, KYC, third-party providers,
Yep.
and get the data from there. And if money dirty, the smart contract just rejects this transaction, and that's all. So DEX remain decentralized and not allowed to come dirty money. This
Yeah.
is the first example.
Yep. Yep.
Another example, let's say liquidity operator of some liquidity pool doesn't want to be compliant, doesn't want to be regulated.
Yep.
He doesn't care. So a user goes to PureFi, call some smart contracts. Those smart contracts go to issuers.
Mm-hmm.
Issuers issue verifiable credentials, and a user store these verifiable credentials locally or on chain, depending on sensitive information,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as the so-called goodwill declaration.
Yep.
And once a user withdraws money from liquidity pool and it's happened to be dirty,
Mm-hmm.
he can prove to a regulator or law enforcement agency or whoever asked that his intentions were clear and pure
Yeah.
by verifiable credentials.
Yeah, wow. That's you really you're acting as a almost a bridge to provide safety as well as verifiable credentials to those regulators to assist in keeping blockchain and DeFi clean. So keeping the liquidity clean, and I mean that's huge. That's massive.
Yeah, and what is needed to add, a user uh, not necessarily disclose his identity,
Yeah.
which is which is very important.
Of course, yeah. That's well, I mean, we do have that. Yeah, I mean that right to remain private if we like, and that's that's something as well that we practice. I mean, we try not to collect too much user data. Even with our analytics, we don't use Google Analytics. We use another third party service that's privacy based, and we publicly display our website statistics. And I feel that like that's something that's a crucial element in blockchain is having that we should have that option to remain anonymous or not. That should be our choice. If we want to be
Yes.
public, we can be public. If we want to remain private, we can. Sometimes we want to remain private in some projects that we want to invest in, and that should be perfectly fine, and it shouldn't be something that's frowned upon. Yeah. Do you think that this is going to help combat? For example, I bet you would have noticed all these new BSC contracts being started and all these community tokens that relying on pure community money to even run or function. Do you think PureFi is going to be something to be able to help these projects out as well in having clean liquidity?
Definitely yes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly like chain analysis did for classical crypto some times ago. And that is why fraudsters are directed towards the DeFi markets now.
Yep.
The more barriers we build, the more difficult life for fraudsters.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's something that's it's becoming out of control, especially this year. Some of these projects that have popped up. I mean, some of our guys in the community have been stung by them, and it's saddening. And how can we move forward as a collective, as an industry? How can we progress forward if there's nobody sort of standing up to the plate and making it harder for these scammers and these fraudulent activity and whatnot? I mean, a project like PureFi just literally opening up the floodgates and saying no, enough's enough. I mean, that's exactly what blockchain. I feel personally that's what blockchain needs, and yeah, I cannot honestly. I think I'm going to be praising you guys a lot. So,
as been said, I'm the CEO of ML Bot project that serves 35K audience worldwide for about 3 years. And we noticed a massive outflow of illicit funds from classical crypto to DeFi apps.
Yeah, of course.
Thus, we decided, hey, we should break this flow. We should protect honest market players.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and that's perfect. I mean, yeah, you're really hitting that nail. And so the way the protocol works, you just explained. So that's what you'd call a zero knowledge oracle. And that's what you'd be able to expand, and that's what gives you that ability to be able to expand into those different blockchain networks. Is that zero knowledge oracle? Is that what is that the name you get to give it?
Yes, this zero knowledge protocols, zero knowledge algorithm allows to stay anonymous and still compliant.
That is perfect.
For example, you need to prove that you are older than 18 years, or you need to prove that you are not a citizen of some specific country. Let's not call this specific country, but still.
Yeah, jurisdictions.
There are some limitations. You can also prove some facts, either yes or no. But when you do it, you never disclosure the actual fact.
Yeah.
I can explain in a simple word.
Yeah, yeah, for the guys, I
How
mean, that'd be epic.
Yeah. For example, imagine you need to prove a bartender that you are older than 18 years. Like, you know,
Yep, yep.
and the bartender asked whether you graduated from high school,
Mm-hmm.
whether you have a driver license, do you like 18th music, for example, do you listen AC/DC, have you read certain classical books, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And all your answers can be proved by some digital hard evidence. After a certain number of such questions, your age threshold can be verified with high probability. And
Right.
as you can see, you didn't disclose your actual age, but you proved.
Right. That's really that's fascinating. That's really smart. That's awesome. So it's almost
I
like
know it's a
yeah.
simple, it's just an explanation
Yeah.
in a crypto world. I mean, in a cryptography world, it it works a bit different, but the idea is the same.
Yeah, right. Okay. That's yeah, that's like I guess that's almost yeah, like you hold up your ID, but you put your finger over your photo and your name, and it just
Yeah, exactly.
and you
Exactly.
know the month and the day you were born's blurred, but the year isn't. So I mean that's epic. That's really that's really cool, man. And
It's called Zika snarks.
wow, okay. Damn, I'm gonna write that down and do some reading up. That's yeah, that's really really good. And when do you guys expect to sort of have all your like your public sale and how long is pre-sale going on for?
Um, right now, we are communicating with a few ideal platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So all is depending on them.
Yep. Okay.
And yeah, I believe we will do it in the mid of July.
Oh, awesome. That is going to be great. We're really looking forward to it, man.
It
And
seems like market is restoring a
yeah,
bit.
yeah. Well, there. That's what it looks like. I mean, having a look
It's a
at
good
the
time to
old.
interview, for blockchain crypto interview.
What was that? Sorry.
It's a good time to have such a session today. I mean,
Yeah,
when the market goes up.
exactly right. I mean, yeah, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's. I mean, yeah, it's like the mother currency of all blockchain
Yeah,
almost.
yeah,
But
exactly.
the you know the market dominance though. This is something that I might ask. What's your personal belief on Bitcoin? So do you have any prices you think that we're going to see Bitcoin hit like all time highs? What do you think that we're going to see Bitcoin this year?
Um, it's difficult to predict when,
Yeah,
but
when? Yeah.
for sure, it will goes up to 400 Ks, I guess, something like this,
Yep.
maybe 200, 300 Ks,
Yep, yep.
because of because of nature of Bitcoin, the
Mhm. Mhm.
limitation of supply.
Mhm.
I believe we will see these numbers,
Yeah.
but I don't know when, to
Yeah,
be honest.
that's it. It's hard to say when, right? But yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we were thinking too in the community. I mean, everybody's been asking, and I
yeah. So
said to him,
the only idea is just to stay long, as long as
exactly,
possible. That's all.
exactly. Yeah, stay long as possible. Exactly right. And do you think that DeFi as a as a space is going to maybe take over Bitcoin, or do you think it's going to lower its dominance in blockchain itself? Like, what's your thoughts on it, man?
Um, I guess DeFi has a lot of services
Mm-hmm.
that classical financial institutions have, and probably okay. It's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Bitcoin remains as the gold,
Yep.
just to store value, maybe as an indicator of the as it is now, as an
Mm-hmm.
indicator for the whole
Mm-hmm.
crypto market.
Mm-hmm.
but all the useful things will be in DeFi ecosystem.
Yeah, that's
And
that's that's what I was thinking as well.
and it will be growing and growing, and classical banks will be shrinking.
That's it. That's it. The centralized system and liquidity providers, I think, I, I mean, even this year we've seen like El Salvador accepting Bitcoin now as legal tender. That's huge. That's a
Yes.
massive, massive step in the blockchain industry. That's taken a huge step in the right direction, and I'm even excited to, even fly over once all this COVID stuff, settles down. I'll fly over there and help support the local businesses and, spend as much Bitcoin as I possibly can with them. I just think it's such an amazing thing that they've accepted Bitcoin as legal tender now. And other projects like Gemini and I believe that's from the Winklevoss twins, and
Yeah.
Ethereum 2.0 coming out. When's that due? Is that due like around next month, or is it September that it's coming?
Ethereum 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0. I forgot when that was meant to be due, but um
I believe they shifted the deadline all the time.
oh, right. Okay, that's probably why I can't remember.
I never track it, but I remember it should be on the spring,
Mhm.
then summer, then fall. In my world, I don't know. Maybe it's not true, but I never track them.
Yeah. Yeah, it becomes hard.
Yeah,
Well,
they definitely need to do something with the gas price, and I believe they will update it soon.
yeah, that's the killer. That's the real killer in using Ethereum at the moment. Is all those transactions are just so expensive, and um,
Everyone moves toward Binance Smart Chain
mhm,
because of gas price
yeah, yeah, how cheap.
and
And
Solana and
Solana,
the
yeah. I mean, that's something that I've been in discussion with a couple of developers that I know. We've been talking about Solana a lot, so I'm really liking the speed and their network as well, and I feel like it's all these DeFi projects that are PureFi. There's Solana. There's the was it Kyber network and Tron. All these different projects that have popped up. It's becoming like an infinite ecosystem of just one wealth generation, especially for the younger generation of people that are coming out. I mean, blockchain should be something that's implemented into school curriculum, I believe, because they leave. If they're, for example, when we were younger, did you used to work when you were younger for like pocket money for like change and stuff like mow lawns or do something like that
yeah,
at all?
yeah, sure, sure,
Yeah,
yeah, on construction
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. And I mean, like, you had spare money. Like, what is if you put that money into a blockchain fund, or if you
Oh.
put it, and then all of a sudden, 5 years later, you've got 100,000 euro or 100,000 USD sitting there because you've saved. Like,
Yeah,
what are going to be the possibilities for those younger generation and even us now to establish projects like that and networks and I feel like this is something that the world is just missing out on, and the more we can sort of have talks like this, the more we can learn about other projects and what they're building and understand it, because that's the problem, is these new people aren't understanding. Yeah, and I mean, it's just the more valuable everything's going to become, and the more benefits that it's going to be for new people in the industry as well as us. And we don't want to work forever, so if we can build, as you said, like a product that runs by itself without any governing or management necessarily, then that's just going to be something even more empowering to people, because it's going to create more jobs. It's going to help the economy. It's going to grow, and the more innovative people that step into the industry, for example, like yourself and your team at PureFi, the better off blockchain's going to be. And with your team, you've spoken about it a little bit before. Are they all remote as well, or do they all live in the same place? Do you work in the same office, or like how's your team structure?
Well, the core team, it's about 7 people, is sitting in the office in Kyiv, it's Europe. The rest of the team, additional 5, maybe 10, it depends on who to calculate.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We have all sources as well. People spread around exactly like blockchain, as your team you said.
Yep, yep.
Um, this is a group of people that are deep into blockchain and crypto space. Some met on hackathons, some on blockchain conference a few years ago, a half a year ago. And we love crypto and love being geeky. And
Yep, yep.
and there are, 3 more successful crypto-related projects on our floor in the office space. So it's kind of crypto incubator,
Wow.
but it's not an incubator, but the office itself like an incubator.
Yeah, wow.
Hacking, for example, Happy, Disbalancer, Solana, part of the team, sitting in our office. I mean, office space.
That's awesome. So
So
all
we
of you guys are
sharing.
just working in the same building. That's awesome.
Yeah, not the whole Solana team, but some developers, some representative in Ukraine, and we share insights, idea, and that's how it works.
Wow. I mean, that's even an idea for a project, right? Like, let's build a blockchain eco space where all different blockchain projects can rent space through crypto or something like that. I don't know. I mean, that would be awesome. That's a really cool. And
Yeah.
and how long did it take you to assemble your team? Did it take you long at all, or did you know who you wanted straight away?
A few people, yes. Some people we found through our network.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We, for example, attract our CTO. He is experienced developer and building a lot of liquidity pools, smart contract, yield farming, thousands of different tokens and blockchains. And he attracted a few more people with himself. And that's how we structure it. And to be honest, the blockchain community is not that huge in the Ukraine or Russia or even in entire Europe. So in a few handshakes, you can get any talented person you want.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what makes
It-
blockchain good as well.
yeah, if they like your project as well.
Yeah,
So
of
it's easy.
course. You'll have to like it. Yeah, can't force them at gunpoint to work on your project. um, yeah, that's wicked. Yeah. So with the amount of fraudulent projects and whatnot stepping up, do you think that PureFi is going to be able to help problem solve the future of some of these projects? And what do you think for a problem like that? What do you think would be a good solution? What's going to sort of help prevent and make it more difficult for these guys? Excluding PureFi, for example. What do you think is going to help sort of prevent those guys making those sort of fraudulent community tokens that are just completely rug pulling on their communities and remaining anonymous and whatnot?
I guess first of all, it should be fully transparent ecosystem with smart contract audits,
Mm-hmm.
with the anti-money laundering analytics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For example, Hacking is going to publish a website where they depict all the bad VC funds and good VC funds. And the same, they are also partner with CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, and they publicly published ranking of centralized and decentralized exchanges.
Right.
And
Okay. That's awesome.
yeah, it's gonna be the same with the any new crypto DeFi or crypto project coming into the space. They should be audited, they should be publicly visible
Of
and
course.
traceable.
Mm-hmm.
And the second part of this is to make as difficult as possible to laundering money,
Yeah.
to convert dirty money to clean money, and to convert them to fiat currency,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. There should
The
be
only
that.
solution.
Yeah.
Uh, the more we do this, the more institutional money and big companies come into the DeFi, since DeFi is very lucrative space, very profitable, and they are willing to come into the game,
Mm.
but they're afraid of uh,
The risk
everything.
involved. Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's yeah. I mean, that's something that's huge. In blockchain in general, but at the same time, we can the people that are involved in blockchain can sit down and come together and build things to help those larger funds, liquidity providers and whatnot come into the space by eliminating most of that risk, well, not most, but trying to make it harder and less risky for these funds to come in. Um, and you know, regarding the credibility of projects, like you personally, do you have a list of red flags? For example, you would have some investments in a variety of different projects that you personally believe in. Um, maybe you could tell the guys what you personally look for in terms of, are there any red flags or is there any good things you look at in a project? Like, what is it that you see that makes you go, I want to support these guys?
Um, uh, it will be my personal thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, your personal or even professional. You could tell us about both if you'd like. I really don't mind.
Yeah, I believe in partnership. So the community should look precisely who invested in particular project,
Mm-hmm.
what those investors did in the past, whether they flippers or toxic investors or not.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, we together with the hacking will be publish the web page with toxic investors.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
can go to this toxic list, it's called toxic list, and check.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
yeah. Mm, y- you, I believe the team should be publicly visible.
Yes. There you go.
You yeah, you need to track. You should track LinkedIn, Twitter, what they do, what they think about. And I will say, if we are talking about DeFi, audits of smart contracts is very important, since even without bad intentions,
Mm-hmm.
there could be some bugs and rug pulls and other problems.
Yep.
Mm, probably, probably the, there, the, there are no there is no recipe
Yeah.
the whole recipe, but such kind of thoughts.
Yeah.
Help.
Exactly. That's what I've been trying to just let the guys know in our community is, well, for the ones that are new to the blockchain space, for example, coming in this year. That's what I've been trying to educate them on is look at their team. Like, who was on their team? Have they been involved in blockchain before?
Yeah.
What projects have they been involved with? What have they built? Who do they know? And I mean, you can really discover a quality project based on their team and what projects they're working on. And, that's what, helped us, learn a bit more about, for example, yourself. You previously working with AML bot and what you've done there, and now PureFi. I mean, it's
And I remember another thing where they have been launched since IDO platforms.
mm-hmm,
I mean, top IDO platforms, they are very selective. They will not select, they are kind of filter for the bad project as well.
Yeah.
For example, Polka Starter, DAO Maker, Paid, there are a lot of them. I mean, top IDO platforms. They all are pretty rich guys. They have a good teams, and they are very selective. So it's also something that is very important for the project.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Those launch platforms provide like you said, a bridge that sort of or filter, sorry, a filter, to help with those bad projects. So, yeah, I mean that's great news, and that's something that we can also check out as a community, guys. Is looking at those different projects and looking at various IDO platforms, how they operate, why they operate that way. Always be asking questions. If you're going to be investing in a project, don't just throw money. Just open up their website, have a look at their team, look for their team, and look for who's behind the project and whatnot. So yeah, some tips from Slava himself, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you follow some advice, some good advice. Are you involved in any other sort of ventures or projects other than PureFi, AML Bot, and the following?
Personally, I invested in not that many coins,
Yep.
like Polkadot, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, Bitcoin for sure.
Yeah.
Probably that's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So what? So
Uh,
would Bitcoin would make up about 90% of your portfolio, wouldn't it?
Probably yes. Probably even more.
That's me too.
In terms of investments, I'm more on development side, so I do not track all those projects. I just bought a few years ago and forgot about it. That is my investment strategy.
That's perfect, man. That's perfect. I mean, patience pays. It's 100%. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gold. That's awesome. And for example, let's have a look at a different topic. And COVID has it affected has it affected maybe you personally or the team personally, or has COVID been something that didn't really affect you guys?
Um, we actually worked for almost a year fully remoted.
Yep.
Before this, we worked only in house, in one office, and it for the first days it was a bit unusual.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess apart from this, the COVID helped growing crypto payments maybe a little bit, maybe not that little bit, and uh, and our projects as well.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we it's it's I don't I think the whole COVID stuff, I mean, I don't know. It's a bit wild for me. I mean, I was in Sydney when they went into stage 3 lockdown, and I mean, I was always inside anyway, so it was no different. Like, I didn't notice the difference. I just seen more news. But so it didn't really affect me that much, but
So it didn't affect Australia that hard.
I mean, it hit Australia fairly hard, but I think
Okay.
the government sort of controlled it quite well to a degree. I mean, they did some silly things like still paid for football players and stuff to be flown and quarantined at specific places and just spent money they shouldn't have. But aside from that, I think yeah, the government sort of handled it quite well. And Melbourne, that really I mean, that's the one that got impacted the most. I think they're always in lockdown. Some of the guys in the community are from Melbourne, and they're always complaining about it. So that's how I
Yeah.
hear about it. It's just everybody complaining. So that's when I know. Oh, okay. Well, that one's under heavy fire with COVID. Um, yeah. Well. Uh,
There were a few fully locked months in
yeah.
Ukraine, and you know we are still developers. We work it as we worked before, just on a weekend. Yeah, the big difference is the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Actually, yeah, we love to go somewhere, and everything is closed, especially winter time.
Oh
Here in
no.
Ukraine, we have like a winter, not like in Australia. We have real winter with snow, and the only the only place to go is cinema or some malls or theaters, and everything is closed, and restaurants closed. So it
Yeah.
was something new, unusual.
Yeah, it was.
Com-
Yeah. I mean, like I walked to the shops, and we're all required to put these masks on, and I'm walking to the shops, and I've got my mask on, and mostly everybody that I've seen like outside of the shopping center, there wasn't many people even on the street. There's maybe two or three, and I felt really like it was a ghost town or something. Like, where did everybody go?
yeah,
And then I
yeah,
walked into the shopping center, boom, there's everybody, and everybody's got masks on, and I was like, holy moly, like, wow, this outside was almost, yeah, ghost town. It's another world. It felt like empty concrete buildings everywhere, and just quiet, no honking of horns, and it just, like you said, unusual. It was a different world almost. It almost like felt like apocalyptic in a way, a little bit, I guess. But I mean, I wouldn't know what it feels like, but I guess I could assume that's maybe what an apocalyptic city would feel like. Um,
yeah.
the future of blockchain, Slava. Where do you see blockchain in 5 years, man? Well, let's say 2 years. Let's say 2 years. Where do you see? Because 5 years, who knows? But 2 years is something we
Yeah.
can maybe think about.
So I believe blockchain will serve financials, will serve banking system, and
Oop.
not. But actually, CBDC is not blockchain. Is not crypto
Mm-hmm.
by their nature. So in any case, I personally do not believe that blockchain will cover all the possible industry like medical or
Oh, of course.
logistics, etc., etc. It's not that convenient in those spaces.
Exactly. Yeah.
Finance is the space, and the blockchain ecosystem will incorporate all the possible tools that classical financial market has.
Yeah.
That is my personal believing.
Yeah.
And there will be a lot of competitive blockchain networks, not just Ethereum as we seen it a year ago.
Mm.
Mm,
Oh, yeah. Ethereum was. Oh, I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
it's still dominating, but Binance Smart Chain, Solana, and
Yeah. Exactly.
Polkadot,
There's
Cosmos.
yeah. There's so many more projects that is just popping out everywhere every day that you can't count them all. You can't keep track of them all. And
Yeah,
even though CoinMarketCap lists them, pardon me, it still makes it really, really difficult to go, okay, what's this one about? And you're going down this 500 project list, and it's like, which project, like, you just get confused, and there's so much. But again, what I've personally noticed, there's a lot of the same projects. There is a lot of dexes. There's a few centralized exchanges. There's a lot of wallets. How many wallet projects are there at the moment? I mean, oh,
even
far
we
out.
have our own. wallet.
Yeah, there you go. You know, it's every project's like, I'm going to bring out a wallet. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Why not
become,
to bring some new wallet?
yeah, yeah. Why should I download your wallet? It's like, well, you can store our token in it. And you're like, okay, that's good enough. Like, I'll download it again. You know, and I feel like every project's doing it, and it's like, oh, okay, well, the block observer now, we should just build our own wallet for the hell of it. Like, we should just do it anyway.
For sure. With
Um,
staking and the rest of the services.
yeah, oh, exactly. Staking is huge. That's something we haven't even
Yeah,
talked about. Staking. Do you,
you should
do you,
consider it.
yeah. Do you love that whole concept of staking? Like compounding and gaining that interest on your savings? It's like a long-term savings account for crypto.
Yeah, yeah. It's again, staking reflects the classical banking services. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
sometimes staking gives like 300% a year. It's crazy.
Mm.
What else could give such a good profits?
Yeah.
Sometimes 20%, but still it's huge.
Yeah.
20% a year.
Oh
What the
yeah.
hell?
Yeah, exactly. Because term deposits, I mean, even in Australia, I think the highest term deposit, which is, you know, like at a specialized locked account that Australia has, is only, I think, 9% is the biggest that I've seen.
You
9%
know,
in 12 months.
you know about Europe? They have negative percent for deposit.
Negative percent. Oh no, I shouldn't laugh. That's
I'm not
horrible.
joking. I'm
But
not
oh
joking.
my,
They have negative.
wow.
Especially in Switzerland and in the countries like Germany and the rest of the countries,
Yep.
negative percent. Just to store your money, pay us to store for us we to store your money.
Wow. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna invest 100,000 in my European account. All of a sudden, 87,000 left. Heavy.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, that's horrible. I mean, well,
Yeah.
crypto. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, DeFi. The DeFi space can help that, and like you said, who 20% going from -% to 20. That's huge. And
Oh,
again, seeing 300% in some tokens, and different coins and networks. That's unheard of. You never hear about 300%. That's just massive. And if you're looking at a project and you do see them claiming 300%, definitely, like we spoke about before, guys, look at the team, look at the project, look at what it is, because you know you might just might stumble across a real gem, then you might stumble across something that with bad intentions. So yeah, keep your wits about you out there. Make sure you're looking and asking questions always. And what do you think about, for example, the liquidity providers in DeFi? Do you think we're going to see more liquidity providers popping up everywhere? Because that's another one that's just becoming so expansive. Is the LP liquidity provider and auto market making as well?
yeah, for sure. There will be a lot of them for every pair, currency pair that are tradable, and in every possible blockchain.
Yep.
I mean, Solana, Casper Network, Cosmos, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That's the nature of decentralized exchanges. It's
Exactly.
like
Liquid.
don't work without liquidity providers. Yes.
Exactly. They need to be liquid, otherwise they can't operate. And yeah, it's man. I honestly could sit here and talk with you for hours over blockchain. Yeah. Have you had what's been your most exciting experience in blockchain? Whether it be building a project or you know whatever it is, what's been the most exciting or most memorable thing that's happened to you in blockchain?
I would say, yeah, it was one funny thing. I come up with, as I thought that time, this brilliant idea to create a so-called smart contracts that can wrap some asset like stock on some market and sell this asset through the tokens. And on the next day or maybe 2 days, I came up with I found the project called Synthetics, which does exactly the same and already implemented all my ideas. So
Oh,
yeah, it's something about blockchain and rapidly growing industry. When
exactly.
you dream on something, a few teams already work on it and do it properly and do it very professionally.
Yeah,
So
that's that's I guess the race. The
just
race.
Google,
Yeah.
just Google before you raise your million and ask at your parents to help a bit and just Google it. And yeah, maybe someone already created a perfect project that matches your idea.
Yeah, exactly right. That's you know, it just keeps going faster and faster and faster. The more that people do build in blockchain, and the further and further and further we go down that rabbit hole, and it's just becoming it's just becoming a super great industry to be involved in. But not only that, it's changing the lives of many, and I'm personally really excited to be involved in blockchain. And Slava, do you have any sort of concluding remarks you'd like to add, or anything you'd like to say to the community?
Well, I believe we personally believe in DeFi markets. We love the concept of decentralized finance. We want this industry to grow and prosper and lead to the mass adoption in entire crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually built the legit gateway for multi-trillion, maybe 100 trillion institutional money to get in the lucrative DeFi market. So get on board, follow us everywhere, and let's stay in touch.
Yeah, definitely will. I'll make sure to tell the guys in the community to jump on your socials, and to all register for the whitelist, for the pre-sale and public sale. We're all really excited. And Slava, man, thank you very much for your time today. You're a busy man, so we don't want to keep you too long. So again, thank you so much for jumping on, being our first proper interview that we've done. And I mean, what a glorious time to celebrate. So again, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. I hope to see you soon.
Definitely will. Alrighty, no problem, Slava. I just Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Holy moly. What a time. What a time to be alive. That was Slava D from PureFi Network. We need to support this project. I don't care how long you've been in this community. This is a project that we're all going to jump in on and support. Slava sounds like he really knows his stuff. All right. And I mean, he's assembled a really, really solid team of engineers, technical thinkers, and people that have been involved in blockchain for a really long time. So, me personally, this is what I look for in a project when I want to support them, not just monetary, but be able to talk about them with my peers or within our networks. This is what's going to help the global adoption of blockchain, and this is what's going to help the whole industry move forward as a whole. So I'm really, really excited and so thankful that Slava had the time to jump on and have a chat with us for an hour. If there's anything that you guys noticed, or you have any criticism or feedback for us, let us know in the community, please. I would love to improve my interviewing skills, as well as my speech I know sometimes I can say a lot and it annoys me. But yeah, honestly, thank you everybody for jumping in, being a part, listening to the interview. I really, really do appreciate everybody's time. And again, some big things are going to be happening at the Block Observer just in these short months coming ahead. There is some major things that we've planned, and this is just the beginning. So again, thank you everybody so much for listening, for tuning in, for staying up, for waking up and being here. Early days, but again, I love you all and thank you. We'll speak to you again very soon.